What's up, Rogan here, and welcome back to another Live for Survival video. No, I have not made one in literally a week because I had to deal with classes and I was just basically stressed out. And now, I have been playing a decent amount, and I've noticed one thing in particular, and that's because, well, the thing I noticed is the Vector not being used at all. Literally, if you see a person using a Vector, you basically see a fucking unicorn, okay? Like, these weapons are like one of the most rarest things to see. It's not that they were hard, it's just that they are pointless, the Vector.45. And basically I'm just going to be going over about what the Vector is currently in the game and basically why I believe it's probably one of the probably most mistakable things that was ever happened. Anyway, yeah, I guess we have to do this. Alright, let's do this then. Alright, so before we get into basically why I believe the Vector.45 is probably one of the worst things in the game right now, we're going to go over basically how the game is currently. Now, if any people worked on the game and like probably were basically included on getting the origin of Vector.45, I don't know why I'm saying it like it's a person, but you probably want to listen to this closely. Now, I'm not trying to shame you or anything like that, saying like you should have done better or anything like that. But one of the things I want to say to probably help you guys in the future whenever you make more improvements or just bring in weapons into this game again is to think about the meta how it is currently. Like right now, it's basically a pay to win game. Like there's no doubt, you cannot deny it. I'm using pay to win weapons. I have an RPG and the Tommy gun, aka the Thompson, and that's basically how I usually sometimes win every single game, but not every single game. I only use these weapons because they give me more of like kind of a big advantage, but I still want a challenge. That's why I mostly use those guns and not Juggernaut armor or laser rifle because they are way too overpowered, and well, that doesn't necessarily give me just any challenge or just any entertainment. Now, when you bring in a weapon, think about how it's gonna change the meta. Think about how the player, just put yourself in the shoes of what the player wants and like what the player is basically needing. Like for an example, a survivor is gonna be wanting a very good weapon to actually use, and it's very reliable, but not expensive. Like what they did for basically most of the coin weapons or like the Robux weapons or the diamonds ones, either way. And this is pretty difficult to explain and to describe, but the Vector's advantages are basically none. It doesn't have anything else apart from the fact that it's kind of fun. That's it. There's nothing else to this gun. This gun fails at the reliable, its effectiveness, its basically challengeness. I mean, it is a very fast rapid fire weapon, but not a weapon to be used to kill zombies, really. It's more or less a BB gun if you really think about it. Now, if when a player wants a weapon, they're going to want something that's very strong, not expensive, but, you know, that gives them a challenge and an advantage. The Vector fails at all those requirements because number one, it doesn't do anything, and number two, it runs out of ammo so fast, and number three, the damage is pathetic. And number four, before Toa and the rest of the team made the update where you only had to get what's it called? 2 campaign and arena wins. It used to be 5. And I know 90% of the people in this community spent hours and days doing these challenges. And when it was finally done, they added that update, which made it so you only needed 2. Which I believe they should have done it a lot more earlier because, well, that would have saved us a lot of time and more or less like, oh, finally they actually did something. But more or less, that happened and you're just like, oh, wow, that sucks. But at least we did it. Well, this gun does definitely not go for its standards of gift of the superstars, in my opinion. This is more or less the first gift you get where you have to log in every single day. Like, this gun is not living up. It does not basically it doesn't even need to be deserved called gift of the superstars. It does not. Gift of the Yeti, they did a wonderful job with it. They made a Yeti defender that was actually pretty overpowered, but not really because, well, they could just block its shots at the Tingler or Hunter, so it's not that powerful. It's just a regular defender with a longer range and damage. And more or less, the problems with the Vector.45 is that the damage is too low. Rapid fire rate is very fast, but its ammunition and damage are what's really it's struggling here. And also the fact that it took so much time to achieve, and the reward was just so low, and just it did not feel like it was worth it at all. If I could even tell myself, saying back in time, saying, hey, this is the gun you're gonna get, I would probably just wait until they updated the game where that happened, so I don't waste so much time to get a weapon I've only used 4 times. Now, I was thinking about making a tier list to see a primary gun tier list saying which ones were the bad ones and which were the good primaries. And I knew if I included this gun, which was all event weapons, this would probably be the first or the second place in the worst primaries. This gun is so low for warning, damage is pathetic, rapid fire is incredible, but its ammunition and second mode where it does 3 more damage, it's just not good at all. And more or less, what people are failing to see or failing to do with this gun is basically any strategies. This gun is basically just, I don't know how to say it, but like kind of disappointing, if that makes sense. I've used many guns. I've tested mostly all the guns to see if this gun can compete with any other gun, and the only gun I can see this gun actually competing with was the Uzi. But the Uzi still has advantages because it does a little bit tiny more damage, and number one, it's basically free, I'm pretty sure, and it only evolves like about 13 gold or something like that. And I'm pretty sure you can buy it permanently. I'm not too sure though. But either way, the Vector has so many downfalls, and the fact that it took us days to achieve this basically meant that it's not even remotely reward feeling. Now, put yourself as a survivor, like Toa and everybody else. Put yourself as a human. What would a human want? They would want this type of gun. And if you were to use this gun, would you feel really disappointed? Like, oh, this gun doesn't do that much damage. I need to be close to an ammunition box literally every single game and all the time because I can run out of ammo in 15 seconds max. And all of a sudden, there's a million zombies right in front of me. This gun, its basic only advantage is close combat, basically. And it's only good against, of course, close combat zombies. And whenever a survivor uses it on me, I just always say to myself, well, this is an easy kill because, well, they're going to go for the ammunition box and this gun doesn't do anything, really. This gun is so bad, basically. It's really disappointing to see how this turned out into the game. Now, the only tips I could tell Toa and the rest of the people from this very bizarre update, the Christmas one, is number one, of course, think about where you're going to add into the meta of the Love for Survival and what people would like to see next. Weapons, maps, game mode, zombies, whatever. And then finally test them out, like what you did for the campaign, or not, you didn't necessarily test it, but always test the game out, both in zombies and in humans, to see if it's both equal and easy and possible to actually beat and actually do. Now for weapons, it's simple. Just use it as a survivor against zombies, and then as a zombie, just test yourself surviving against that, seeing how overpowered it could be, or seeing if you need to basically buff it or nerf it at all costs. This weapon is basically one of the many more downfalls of Left 4 Survival, like what they did with Campaign, where it only had 4 minutes and you had to get 20 cans. They of course patched it out where after a few complaints they finally did that. So that's a case of you testing it. And then for the Yeti, it was also that as well. 5 million HP in 3 minutes. How do you even do that? So that's another test it out before doing anything else. And finally, for the Vector, it's pretty simple as well. Test it out, seeing how it could be affected with every single zombie, how the humans could use it to their advantages or disadvantages, and how zombies can use it for advantages and disadvantages. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video to show and just to tell the people, if they are ever listening to this, which I'm pretty sure not, about basically the downfall of this gun and how it basically represents almost all the other mistakable things Love for Survival people or developers have actually done, like the maps, the modes, the guns, and all of that. And hopefully in the future they can test it out before they do anything, so by the time it actually gets into the game, there's no other complaints apart from bugs, or at least like a, hey, this is just an opinion, what else are you gonna add, or something like that, and not more of like a, oh, this is too hard, please buff it. And hopefully they can become better developers. I actually have really high hopes that this game could appear in the featured or recommended site of Roblox. I know it could, and hopefully this video can actually help them out and basically give them some advice. So number one, test or just think about what the community and basically what the game wants. Number two, try to go for it. Number three, test it. And then number four, basically just make sure everything is fine. And number five, listen to the community if there's any mistakes or bugs. And yeah, I guess that's basically it. I might do another video sometime this week, but I'm not really too sure. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I don't know, just I guess comment or something like that. I don't really care. But thank you guys so much for watching for all my videos. It makes my day, and hopefully I actually get to pass prison because I am literally dying over here. And that was a joke. I am not, but I really hate classes. So pray for me, and yeah, I'll see you all in 5 years.